Hello YouTube, it's been a few weeks, but here we go. So today I wanted to talk about veganism and vegetarianism. Now, my closest friends will know that 2 years ago, when I turned 18, on my birthday I went vegetarian. It was interesting at first. Well, I was a pescatarian vegetarian, so I still ate fish, so I was not a full vegetarian, so that would be a half lie. And I found this very interesting because at first I did not have any cravings for meat. I did not want to eat meat, and the sight of meat would be a bit ugh, because I got into that mentality of being a vegetarian. I used to watch a lot of Teal Swan videos, and I still watch loads of vegans now, like Freely the Banana Girl. Vegan Gains is a fucking legend. I love that guy, he's so cool. And his girlfriend's really pretty. So yeah, so I watch a lot of vegans. Those are the only ones I can think of. I promise you I do watch more vegans than only two. I'd be swearing at you, so yeah. Okay, so after about 7-8 months of being a vegetarian, so in the summer of 2015, I decided that I wanted to start eating meat again because I was having cravings for meat. For example, I'd go into a shop and I'd get something and I'd see my friends eating things as well, and I'd be like, right, okay. I'd see meat everywhere, anywhere that I went out places, things like that, I kind of feel left out. Vegetarian food here doesn't tend to taste amazing, probably tastes better homemade. I've tried to make homemade vegetarian burgers and it was pretty much just like a really loose, squishy bean burger, like a red kidney bean burger, and it was just awful. I mixed oats with it and everything and flour, but I just could not get the mixture right, and I even followed a recipe. It wasn't very good. So there was one day of being vegetarian. I decided, right, I want a chicken bake. So I went to Greg's and I got a chicken bake, and after that I thought, okay, that's it, it's fine. You've cheated on this diet, but it's okay. So I continued on with the vegetarianism thing until after that I thought I can't stay away from meat. Like I think I was doing it wrong. That's why I had the cravings for meat. Because if I was satisfied in that diet, then that wouldn't have happened, So yeah, I was eating mainly pasta, vegetables. I would have couscous. I'd have tuna, things like that. It was actually my mum who kept persuading me to, eat some tuna, eat tuna, it tastes good, yeah, you should have some, eat some. And, I decided to obviously eat fish on that diet, and obviously I'm not a psychopathic meat eater like most people are. I acknowledge and realise that animals are treated like shit, worse than any case of slavery in the past. Animal slavery is probably worse than human slavery, because at least with human slavery, the people, yeah, they get raped and that sort of stuff, but most of them are still alive, right? After, the whole thing. Anyway, let's not get into that. But with the animals, for example, cows don't grow fast enough, so they inject the cows with things to make the cows grow faster and everything. The female cows are artificially inseminated, aka raped, and the male cows are pretty much gotten rid of because they're considered useless because they can't reproduce. And when the female cows are born, they replace their mothers. So it's a very insensitive, industry. It's a very insensitive industry. And for example, chickens, I watched a documentary once where I could see into the flesh of chickens, and maggots were eating away at their skin, and they were losing like the things at like the top of their whatever. They just look so unhealthy, so neutralized, malnourished, I suppose would be the word. So I'm a meat eater who does acknowledge how animals are treated, and they're not treated good at all. I think if I was to go back to that sort of diet, I'd have to have cheat days. It's like I feel pressured to eat meat when I go out. It's like a social pressure. Like everyone's sitting around a table, and a lot of cultures' foods involve meat. So it's like I feel pressured to eat meat. People are going to be like, oh, why are you vegetarian? Oh, you're missing out. Oh, da 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 da. It's just, if I surrounded myself with vegan and vegetarian people, then that would be great. One thing is, the main thing I enjoy about meat is the flavour, and not the actual meat itself, but the flavour on the meat mainly, which is very strange. With chicken, a lot of the time chicken is very dry, it's very chewy, and that's one thing that I don't like about chicken. Another thing I don't like is I hate when I have to snap the bones in half of the chicken, and I hear that snapping sound. Oh, it's just horrible. Like the animal's been killed as it is, and I'm there snapping the bones, trying to eat the meat around the bones and the flesh, and you even see blood vessels in the meat. It's disgusting. And at least with halal meat, yes, they kill the animals barbarically, but they drain out all the blood and they don't mix all the brain brain and the intestines and everything all into one, and then produce, meat which we see in Asda, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Lidl, Aldi, all the other stores. So with that being said, if I was to be a vegan or a vegetarian, I would probably start with vegetarianism first, work my way towards veganism. I would have to be around many other people who are vegan and vegetarian, and I'd have to have long-term vegan and vegetarian friends, potentially even family members, because to be honest with you, I don't know, it feels like a social pressure, and it is a social pressure for a lot of people to eat meat. Obviously, animals go through an immense amount of pain and suffering, and certain like female cows are separated from their mothers, and like for example with eggs, male chicks are disposed of because they're seen as useless, and they keep the female eggs and everything, female chicks, to produce eggs. So all in all, the meat industry, not a good industry from what I've seen. I've seen Earthlings, I've seen Forks Over Knives, I've seen other sorts of documentaries to do with the rights and welfare of animals, promoting all that and everything, and showing animal cruelty. I'm sure there's a certain extent of torture in all different countries in relation to animals. Mainly, I'd probably say Canada, US, and UK probably treat animals the worst. I don't know about the other countries because I only really know about those three from watching videos about it and things like that, and from obviously living in England, being born here. Another thing I'd like to mention is I find it strange how we're very selective with what we eat. Like, it's acceptable for people to eat chickens and to eat crabs, to eat lobsters. It's okay for people to eat chickens, to eat pigs, to eat cows. So that's considered acceptable, and even horses, what with the horse meat scandal a few years ago. But it's not okay for people to eat cats, dogs, hyenas, hippos, elephants, giraffes, etc. So if it's okay to eat those animals, why isn't it okay to eat other animals? Because you're giving that's favoritism. You're prioritizing other animals over a separate group of other. I don't understand that. Like, yeah, we should be treating all animals the same and everything, but obviously I can't really say that because I'm still eating meat. Yeah, definitely in the future I would definitely consider moving to somewhere like Canada. I'm not a massive fan of America, but Canada, I'd definitely move to Canada in the future. I know there's lots of vegan and vegetarian activists there, and veganism and vegetarianism is promoted, and there are many vegan and vegetarian places and people in Canada. The same goes for America and probably other places, but Canada seems to be my favourite place. One reason why I don't favourite vegetarian and vegan meat over non-vegan and vegetarian meat is because, I mainly want, let's just say with all meats, vegan, vegetarian and meat based, there is too much flavour on top of the food, usually chicken, and there's not enough flavour in it. I want meat with flavour inside of it. So yeah, I mean, even with things like seitan, which I have cooked before, that was actually quite nice. I made some seitan, which is basically vegan wheat meat, and it was nice because it's like dream chicken. One thing that I do love about vegan vegetarian chicken is the fact that it is so just chewy and soft, and there's no bones. I hate bones in food. It gets in the way, and I hate having to spit out the bones and spit out the muscle and the flesh and blood vessels and the bits of fat. I just don't like it in general. I like boneless chicken, and I like large portions of chicken. So I mean, with vegan vegetarian meat, you can have large portions of chicken with no bones, which is brilliant, and it can be as big as you want. That's what she said. So yeah, I mean, that's all I really want to say about veganism, vegetarianism. If you're still watching up until now, then thank you very much for your view. So let me know what you think of on this topic. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you like this video if you liked it. If you want to dislike it, you're more than welcome. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Love, peace, and mwah.